How's it going, guys? We've been getting a lot of requests to make some vegetarian meals. I haven't made too many of these before, but we're going to try our hands at some vegetable cheese lasagna. Quick note though, I am going to be using cheese and a lot of it, so it's by no means vegan. Let's start off by getting together our vegetables. You can really use whatever ones you want, but I'm going to be using 2 onions, 2 zucchinis, 1 bell pepper, and 2 heads of broccoli. In total, you need about 5 cups of vegetables. If you're looking to add more variety to the dish, I think mushrooms would be a great addition. Start out by cutting up your vegetables. For some reason, my eyes started watering more than when I watched the Titanic, but I've heard you can make it a bit easier on yourself by making sure the onions are chilled before chopping. Or by wearing swimming goggles. But I'm not sure I'm ready to have that image of myself on the internet just yet.
Can't see because of the onions, and then I pick up a really sharp knife. Makes sense, man.
For our zucchini, we're shooting for about 1-inch cubes. You could go even smaller if you wanted them to be softer in the final product, but I wouldn't go much smaller than about 1/2 inch.
Don't cut yourself.
I will not.
For our pepper and broccoli, we're aiming for about a similar size. When it comes to the broccoli, I usually just cut off the florets as it loses a lot of moisture and volume during the cooking process. Next up, we're going to grate some mozzarella and some parmesan.
230, I'd say it's about a third of this mozzarella.
For the mozzarella, you want to make sure it is low moisture, which would be about 45 to 50%. There's already going to be a lot of moisture in the dish, and you want the cheese to be melty but not have everything fall apart at the end. You will need about 8 ounces of whatever mozzarella you can find, but I mean, it's mozzarella. Put as much on as you want.
What?
No, leave a band-aid though. Then you get the mozzarella.
To supplement the mozzarella, you're going to need about 1 cup of grated parmesan. We're also going to be adding about 1 clove of garlic finely minced to our sauce, so go ahead and get that ready now. The last ingredient for our sauce is going to be 1 can or about 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Start your sauce off by adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a preheated pan. Throw in our onions, stirring occasionally until nicely caramelized. This process can be pretty relaxing, so make sure to stop at some point and to not overcook the onions.
Yeah, I would offer to do this for you, but I have absolutely no idea how can opener works. So.
That's really depressing, and because you said that, give it a go. You can do it beside me. Open it. Clamp it down. No. God, goodness me. Oh man. I'll twist. Okay. We're never getting to bed.
Once the onions are almost done cooking, add in your garlic and stir for about another 3 minutes.
Add in,
Nice.
drop some stuff on the ground.
At the last second, I decided to add in about a dash of crushed red chili pepper flakes.
Guys, if you're ever having a woman over for a date, make sure that you're doing this part when she walks in the door. Done deal. Alright, and then ruin it by dumping in a bunch of vegetables.
Throw in your 5 cups of veggies and cook most of the way through. Don't cook them completely just yet because they will still be going to the oven and will finish cooking in there.
Then we add in the tomato paste.
Add in your tomato paste and let simmer for about 5 minutes until it's thickened and reduced by about half of its size. While that thickens up, we're going to go ahead and make our cheese filling for in between the layers. You will need 15 ounces of ricotta or cottage cheese if you prefer, 2 eggs, and some chopped or crushed basil. If you have fresh basil, I definitely would recommend chopping it up for this. For this, honestly, all there is to do is to whisk together the ricotta cheese and 2 eggs until they're combined. Once the sauce is thickened up, season to taste and throw in about a tablespoon of basil. And we are now ready to assemble our lasagna. Start by adding some of our sauce to the bottom of the pan to help prevent it sticking. Our first layer is going to consist of about 5 of our noodles, followed by half of our ricotta mixture, a third of our mozzarella and parmesan, and then about a third of our vegetable sauce as well. I ended up using no boil noodles for this. While it ended up tasting pretty good, in the future I would boil noodles and use those. The end product ended up being pretty crispy around the edges, which I think was very avoidable. Our second layer is going to be identical to the first, which is the 5 noodles, the rest of our ricotta mixture, a third of our mozzarella and parmesan cheeses, and a third of our vegetable sauce. The final layer is going to be 5 noodles and pretty much just the rest of our ingredients. We're going to start off with a third of our vegetable sauce, a third of our parmesan, and then a third of our mozzarella. I think a lot of my issues with the edges being crispy were from not having enough ingredients for the final layer. I would try to leave more cheese for the top layer than I did here if you're using no boil noodles so that they have a bit more to absorb. Cover that sucker in foil and put it in the oven at about 350 for 20 minutes before uncovering and cooking for another 15 minutes. Even though it looks like I never covered mine in foil, I promise I did. I just realized a few minutes after it had been in the oven. Once the top is browned and the noodles look like they have softened, remove from the oven and enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If you have any feedback, we would love to hear it, as we are always looking for improvement. Just leave a comment down below. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week.
How hot is it?
Pretty hot.